tense, heavy, very jolly, carefree, very jealous, envious, very joyful, delighted, very kind, considerate, very keen, ardent, very large, huge, very lucky, fortunate, very fluffy, feathery, very frustrating, exasperating, very full, packed, very few, not many, very good, excellent, very glad, overjoyed, very greedy, covetous, very great, terrific, very right, correct, very rude, impolite, very reduced, minimized, very religious, devout, very regretful, remorseful, very smart, intelligent, very short, brief, very simple, basic, very necessary, essential, very nervous, apprehensive, very noisy, deafening, very nearly, almost, very naked, bare, very numerous, abundant, very neat, immaculate, very often, frequently, very detailed, meticulous, very dull, boring, very deep, profound, very different, disparate, very difficult, challenging, very dry, patched, very dirty, filthy, very dedicated, committed, very basic, elementary, very believable, plausible, very brave, courageous, very biological, organic, very brilliant, genius, very bony, skeletal, very boring, dull, very cold, freezing, very small, petite, very scary, chilling, very showy, revealing, very shameful, disgracing, very selfish, egocentric, very sly, cunning, very sparkly, glittering, very stubborn, obstinate, very fancy, luxurious, very fair, distant, very fast, quick, very fond of, attached, very friendly, amiable, very funny, hilarious, very fat, obese, very fierce, ferocious. Stop saying very accurate, precise, very afraid, terrified, very angry, furious, very annoying, irritating, very attractive, appealing, very amazing, astonishing, very active, energetic, very ashamed, humiliated, very essential, fundamental, very exact, precise, very extra, additional, very extreme, extravagant, very expensive, costly, very educational, enlightening, very emotional, sensitive, very empty, desolate, very creative, innovative, very crowded, bustling, very cute, adorable, very confused, perplexed, very calm, serene, very careful, cautious, very charmed, mesmerized, very clean, spotless, very drunk, intoxicated, very driven, anxious, very eager, keen, very evil, wicked, very exciting, exhilarating, very everlasting, eternal, very excited, thrilled, very easy, effortless, very fragrant, aromatic, very favorable, beneficial, very famous, renowned, very foolish, silly, very fair, reasonable, very faulty, defective, very forceful, aggressive, very frothy, effervescent, very quick, rapid, very rich, wealthy, very realistic, practical, very risky, perilous, very rainy, pouring, very roomy, spacious, very relaxed, comfortable, very restricted, confined, very lonely, isolated, very local, native, very loyal, devoted, very logical, rational, very light, luminous, very lovely, adorable, very mean, cruel, very messy, chaotic, very inexpensive, cheap, very innocent, blameless, very infamous, notorious, very inflexible, rigid, very immediate, prompt, very isolated, lonely, very infertile, barren, very impressive, amazing, very scarce, rare, very smelly, pungent, very smooth, sleek, very soft, delicate, very strong, powerful, very sad, sorrowful, very shy, timid, very skinny, skeletal, very concentrated, condensed, very cool, cold, very common, typical, very concerned, worried, very corrupt, fraudulent, very conscious, premeditated, very creamy, buttery, very constant, consistent. Stop saying very fluffy, feathery, very frustrating, exasperating, very full, packed, very few, not many, very good, excellent, very glad, overjoyed, very greedy, covetous, very great, terrific, very delicate, fragile, very decreased, diminished, very disastrous, catastrophic, very deadly, lethal, very delicious, emmy, very decent, virtuous, very dark, gloomy, very damaged, impaired, very pretty, beautiful, very protective, defensive, very proud, noble, very passionate, ardent, very popular, renowned, very prosperous, prolific, very powerful, compelling, very quiet, silent. Very hot, scalding, very honest, sincere, very huge, enormous, very hostile, antagonistic, very hateful, laughing, very heavy, massive, very interesting, fascinating, very important, crucial. Stop saying very. Very sleepy, drowsy, very slow, sluggish, very serious, grave, very shiny, glowing, very stupid, idiotic, very sure, certain, very sorry, apologetic, very special, exceptional. Very much, plenty, very many, numerous, very modern, contemporary, very misleading, deceptive, very mad, insane, very meaningful, significant, very moody, temperamental, very nice, kind, very specific, particular, very strange, weird, very solid, firm, very secure, confident, very scared, petrified, very sharp, keen, very sweet, thoughtful, very silent, tranquil. Very thoughtful, considerate, very tolerant, liberal, very toxic, poisonous, very touchy, sensitive, very trustworthy, reliable, very troubling, distressing, very true, authentic, very thankful, grateful, very valuable, precious, very vital, crucial, very willing, eager, very weak, frail, very wicked, villainous, very wise, sage, very weird, bizarre, very wealthy, affluent. Very wet, humid, very warm, hot, very white, expensive, very windy, blustery, very worried, depressed, very little, tiny, very happy, ecstatic, very lucky, fortunate.